Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on the counselors. Right, my name is El, and I am all right. And today, like we have said, we're just going to be, enjoying each other, talking, discussing. So, if you know how it works in the counselors, it's going to be happening like that today. We'll be discussing, we'll be gisting, we'll be talking and see how we can learn from each other, develop things from each other, grow, and at the same time become better in everything that we do. So the goal of today is something simple, is just to see if there's any reason why you may need a new year resolution. People always want to have new year resolutions. They want to do new things. They want to set some targets and some goals for themselves in the coming year. And like, oh, this year we are having 12 months to go. So these are the things I want to do. These are the things I want to achieve. In the month of January, I want to do this. In the month of February, I want to do this. And all through, people are having that. Okay, let me do our guests are coming in, and I want to see how I can welcome them so they join me in this discussion, and we all can learn together, grow together, become better together. I used to be one of those people that New Year resolutions would normally disturb. New Year resolutions will just make us start thinking like, you're not doing enough what it is you're supposed to achieve in next year, and you get so stressed out thinking about how you're going to achieve these particular things, how you're going to be part of these particular things and all of that. But I learned something several years ago to ensure that my year started on my birthday. It made a lot of sense. Interestingly, I discovered that anytime I was telling my history or anytime I was saying something about myself, I would always make reference to, I was so and so years old when I got into secondary school. I was so and so years old when I had this experience. I was so and so years old when this thing happened, when I was part of this thing and all of that. I would always do things like that. I would always mention things like that. So I started asking myself simple questions like, okay, why am I trying to use the regular 12 calendar months when I can, right, just use my age to be the when you say you're achieving miles and you're achieving goal points, your milestones and this race. I said it's usually easier for me to remember how old I was when I achieved something or when I experienced something. It's easier for me to remember that than to remember uh, the particular year. So for me, I had to develop a system. I had to develop a plan and a pattern to say, okay, I start deciding during the year to say, okay, my birthday is coming up in April. April 21st is my birthday. Next year, when I'm going to be 35 years old, what are the things I want to achieve as a 35 years man? What are the things that I want to, what are those goals that I want to achieve at that particular time? So it became easier for me to work with my birthdays than to work with our regular January to December calendar. And the moment it's Christmas, people are already stressed. People are beginning to wonder what is it I'm going to do? How will next year be? What are the things I'm going to achieve? All of that. And today, today's discussion, the target for today's discussion is to see how we can answer these questions, right? How we can help you understand better for those who may be like me, who may not be used to, how will I say it now? Those who may not be used to the January to December, who may not easily enjoy the January to December, who may find January to December stressful, who may want to just be free to explore themselves. I was talking with some other people before now, And I have been seeing all the things that they are saying, the different things different people are able to achieve their goals, their set goals, the way they are able to like. So by the time I'm talking to people, I'm seeing people do things, I'm hearing people explain different things to me on how they are able to achieve goals. And I say, yes, I think this is how it should be for many others. Not necessarily us just having to say, oh, you must be like this, you must be like that, you must achieve this, you must achieve that at a particular time or not. Okay, our guests, they are still coming in. So as they are coming in, I'll be admitting them one after the other. Thank you so much. I'm adding Reverend Adeni Atiba, aka Dr. Triple A.
Good evening, Your Excellencies. How are you doing?
We
What's
are
up?
fine. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for coming on and the rest, right? I hope your kids are giving you they are allowing you this time. If not, we'll say go back to them. Our mommy and every other person in the house. So let me start with you, Dr. Triple A. Before Coach Ewa comes up live and the rest, before she comes up, I would like to ask for you, Dr. Triple A, how has the year been thus far? By this time tomorrow, we'll say 2022 is coming to an end finally. So, how's the year been for you?
Well, it's been quite interesting. It's not like we
Mhm,
expected. Honestly, it was a year full of surprises,
mhm.
here we are. It's like a shirt I had years ago. On that shirt it says I survived Ugo Ugo Ugo. So I used to wonder what's the meaning of Ugo Ugo Ugo. Then I discovered it was an hurricane. Was an hurricane.
Oh,
So
oh.
the people with the shirt said that they survived. It was a huge hurricane. And so, yeah, this year was like that for quite a lot of people with a lot of
Mhm,
things that happened and all that.
mhm.
We survived to go, go, go. We did.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
talking to someone,
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my dear friends, and I told her, I said, see, this year has been the most challenging year for me. It has been the most challenging and the most
Wow.
demanding, mentally, emotionally. However, I tried everything possible to ensure that it was not the most challenging for me spiritually, right? Because I just
Mm.
ensured that I maintained and enjoyed
Yeah.
spiritual peace and spiritual balance. I tried everything possible to ensure that I did not suffer from anxiety, I did not suffer from depression. I know many times my wife will ask me like, "Guy, how are you feeling? How are you doing?" And Lisa Express will always check on me and say, "Bami, how is it like?" I'm fine. I'm good, right?" But if I look at the year right now, January to now, I am very grateful. I may
Yeah.
not have. Wait, let me see. Is there anything I wanted to achieve that I did not achieve in this year? And it was within my power to achieve that thing that I did not achieve the thing. Maybe there was none because for me, the major number one thing on my to-do list is always to live, to be alive, to enjoy life, and to see how things could go and just ensure that I'm able to follow the motions. So let's go straight to the point because it's already 10 minutes into today's discussion, the counselors. And for those of us, those who are watching us right now, those who are following, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. If you have anything to say, drop them in the comment section. Drop that particular thing in the comment section and we will take it, we will respond to you accordingly. And not just that, we wanted to see as much as possible you can participate, ask us all the questions that you want to ask us. I usually tell people again and again that when we do these kind of programs, it's an opportunity for you to meet with our counselors, our therapists, our mentors, and our coaches and talk to them for free, right? Consult them for free, sort of. because you can ask them general questions and they will attend to you. Or like if you come to our DM and you say you want to say anything, and we are sending you our link right away. So for those who are participating right now, you can drop your questions, you can drop your comments as the discussion continues. However, the most important thing right now is to ensure that you subscribe. So subscribe right now, hit the notification bell so that you know when we post amazing videos or when we are coming live. 3 videos every week, in except from shorts. So we try to do YouTube shorts every day, outside YouTube shorts every day, 3 amazing videos every week. And the counselors next year will most likely be twice a week to ensure that you have sufficient knowledge, information, and support when it comes to everything that has to do with relationship, love, sex, marriage, and family. Coach Ewa, how are you doing?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing very fine. Good evening,
How your
sir.
body?
Very great.
Good
I'm
evening.
I'm
So,
I'm feeling well. I mean, I
so
am
where are
doing.
you talking to us from now? Are you in Ibadan? Are you in Abuja? Are you in Abeokuta? Which other city do you regularly go to again?
Oh my goodness, what a lovely way to tourist. But actually, I'm in University of Ibadan. I was unable to go for a break at all, so I had to
Okay.
stay to prepare. So
So
I
if I remember, you have exams. Your exams are start. Your exams will start first week of February of January.
yes.
Oh, great. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to be coming back to Breven, but let's start with you. Coach Ewa, let's meet you. Kindly tell us a little bit about yourself. Kindly
Okay.
tell us who you are, what you do.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for watching. And if you can watch, just like kindly subscribe to our channel. Yes, awesome videos are coming your way, insightful videos for transformation and growth in love and relationship. Okay, so my name is Ewa Oluwafetiga, and I'm popularly known as Coach Ewa. So actually a final year student at University of Ibadan, studying counseling and human development studies, and I'm the lead strategist Let's Work Coaching Institute. It's a coaching academy. It's still growing,
Mm,
looking to expand very
mm,
well. And yes, I am also alongside one of the hobbies I have to do is fashion. I love to sew, I
mm,
think, right, and most importantly, I love to help people achieve their
mm.
goals, help them with a better identity, and
Yep.
set set realistic strategies that can take you and help you get to the next better version of yourself. And it has been amazing growing. And I think that's just a little about me. So you can actually call me a personal development coach or a clarity coach, or not confuse yourself, a life coach.
Oh, shit. Thank you for joining us today. And interestingly, I'm one of your seniors in your department. We have never met in school, Sha.
Ah, what? But
Yes, because I happen to be in the same department, but I'm doing my PG, right? I'm doing my master's in marriage and family life counseling.
wow.
And yes, so as as your roommate, she has seen me on one day, and the rest. I'll just usually come and go upstairs and stay in class as one responsible student till the evening when I disappear.
This year, I'm going to make sure I see you. I'm going to make. I don't know how, but we're going to make it WhatsApp. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, you can see me Mondays to Thursdays. My classes are Mondays to Thursdays. They usually start at 8 a.m. till in the afternoon. Some stay till about 6 p.m. We are trying to grow better and become better. Okay, that's for that. Reverend Dr. Triple A, please let us meet you, sir. Kindly tell us, kindly introduce yourself to us. Let's meet this Reverend man of God. I don't know if you heard me, sir. Reverend Tiba. We want you to kindly just introduce yourself, tell us
Oh,
what you
geez.
do, and the rest.
Okay, so it's always, yeah, I did. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh
Yes, so
my.
I was saying you
Oh
should
my.
just
Hello,
help
can
us
you hear me?
introduce yourself. Yes, I can hear you
Oh,
now.
network. Network.
I'm hearing you now.
Network.
Can you hear
Okay,
me?
yeah. Oh, beautiful. Good. Good. Okay, good. All right. So, well, in short, because yeah, I can hear you. I do. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right. Beautiful. All right. So, uh, basically, let me just do a short introduction because it often gets sometimes I get lost in introducing myself. So let me just do a short one. So I am Adeni Adebola Atiba, right? Dr. Triple A. I do quite a lot of things, but I'm what you call a a business growth strategist. I'm a life coach and also a management consultant. Okay, so I run the Dr. Triple A company, and
Okay.
I work with a lot of people. Those specifications to help them work with them thereabout. And I've been professionally doing this for like 23 years. So yeah, and recently, about a year plus, that's 2 years ago, we got into publishing. So I publish books now for people too. So it's part
Wow.
of what I do. I
That's a
mean some
very
other
good
things,
one.
which you are aware. So I mean so many things. So, and then also I pastor a church, as a pastor, and I'm, and I'm a member of the All Rights Passion Counselors Network. Right. So yeah,
Thank you so much for that
that's the short
amazing
of it.
introduction. Thank you for that amazing introduction. That's fine. We
Thank
live in
you.
a time where we
Yeah.
are able to do many things at the same time. Thank God for post COVID. We can now even share our time more. I was shocked when somebody asked me recently that you are also a lawyer. I was like, yes, I'm a lawyer, and I've been a lawyer. By January, I would have been a lawyer for 12 years. And the person's like, I like you
Yeah.
did not know, right? Because as a counselor, a therapist, and also as a lawyer, we get to be able to do many other things. Good. So, sir, let's go straight. Is it everyone that needs New Year resolutions? Or what is New Year resolutions? Let's start from there. What's the New Year's resolution?
Okay. All right. So a lot of people say that a New Year's resolution is just like a New Year decision. Okay, you
Mhm,
make a new decision that this year I'm going to do this. I'm going to achieve this and all that. These are my
mhm,
goals. These are the things that I'm going to do, you know,
mhm.
basically. But I have found out, and I'm bringing a whole new perspective to it today, that we do not need resolutions.
Okay. Why that?
Not everybody, yeah, because, and I'll tell you why. So many
Mhm.
people come up and say, you know what, this is my New Year resolution. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. No,
Yeah.
uh, it does not work. Why?
Okay.
Because a lot of these things are powered by habits.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I say that I'm going to do this and I don't have the corresponding habits that's going to back up my decision, that New Year resolution, what happens is
Yeah.
that by January ending, I'm back to where I started from.
True. I get that.
So, instead of saying that I want to make a New Year resolution, no.
Yeah.
The thing is, let's say to ourselves that I want to create a new me. In other words, I'm going to start new habits. So if I
Okay.
start new habits that will birth my goal, which is a natural result
Mhm,
of the habits,
mhm.
then
If
it
now,
changes everything for me.
okay, awesome, awesome, great. And this is the part that I usually come in. If I need to start new habit, if I need to start doing things and the rest, why should I wait till January 1 to start? Right? That's usually how I see it.
Your
Like,
point. Don't point.
Like if I need to start a new reading regime, if I need to start a
Mhm.
new meditation or prayer regime, if I know that, oh, there's something that's not happening properly in my life that I need to fix, that I need to get right, right,
Mm.
and there are these things that I need to do that will make my life move from point A to point B where I want it to be. Why do I have to wait till January 1 before I come up with some kind of document called New Year's resolution and now start working from January 1? If I need to lose weight, why do I have to wait for
You know
1 week's
what?
time or 2 weeks'
You,
time?
you, you know what? I'm going to, I want you and I want the Ewa to also talk. But you know what? Let me just drop this bombshell. I've been having this thing that just, went poof in my head recently, like a nuclear weapon. And I want to drop it on your lap, honestly. Do you know, do you know
Yes.
that we've been wasting our lives because of this
Mm,
Mm.
concept of New Year?
true.
We've been wasting ourselves because of this
Mm.
concept of New Year.
Mm.
So people are waiting for a new year to start living their lives.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
absolutely.
Instead of us to live our look, a new year is just what it is. It's just marking a calendar. It's just the first day, 31st of December, 1st of January. It's just like March
Alright.
31st, and then the first day of April. It's just March to April. That's what it is. But a lot of people will come from my head right now and say, "I know what are you saying, doctor? It's a new year for God's sake. What are you saying?" But here
Eh?
it is. Why do I have to wait till New Year, 1st of January, before I start
Mm.
living my life? Before I say I want to change my life? Why?
Mm.
That's number one.
Mm.
Ibari said
Mhm.
something some years ago. He said, if you start to plan for the new year from the first day of January, you're already late.
Mhm. Yeah.
You
Mm.
understand?
And I
So
agree.
why would I have to start planning, changing myself, building new habits when I know that January 1st, I should get on my, and I always say to my mentees and the people I coach that look, Alibaba, Alibaba does January 1st. Maybe you've heard of the January 1st event.
Yeah, of course. That amazing show. We always look forward to it, although we are yet to be able to attend physically.
You look forward to it, but you cannot look forward to it the way Alibaba look forward to it.
That's true.
Because Alibaba makes, from what I heard, I don't know how true it is, he makes nothing less than 50 million every January 1st.
Wow. Wow.
Now, if you make 50 million every January 1st from one show on the January 1st, did you plan for it on January 1st or you've been planning for it a year before?
Yeah.
That's true. Of course, several months before then.
People that succeed, I'm telling you, people that succeed in the new year, I've been practicing for the new year way back. Why do I have
Yeah.
to
Of
wait for?
course.
I mean, and that's why I have issues with. I'm sorry, I'm going to be breaking a lot of tables tonight. I have issues with all these last minute crossover things that people will now be praying, and people will rush into church and then they are praying
Oh
and shouting
my.
and screaming as if God's ears are deaf. You know, you had enough time to fast for the new year. Why is it that on now December 31st? It's not December
Mm.
31st that you remember you know how to
No,
pray.
no, no. How about the tradition? How about the tradition that we are
So all
already in
these
the new
things are
year
there and all
before
that.
people start
So I'm
fasting?
going to just keep quiet right now because I'm warming up.
Wow, so you're just warming up.
You know,
I'm sure
like
you're going
like you
to
said
break
when you
tables.
talked when you talked about the prayer thing
Sorry, I
and the
didn't get
fasting
you.
thing. So no, when you talked about the prayer thing and
Sorry,
the
I didn't get
fasting
you.
thing, and I will also use that to go
Yeah,
to Ewa
yeah.
right away. I usually find it very interesting. I tell people that I don't I like the religious traditions are usually to help people, right? For people who are still maybe at the meek level, because I'm like, okay, you want to fast for the year, and you are starting to fast from the year from the second day of the year, right? So most churches do the 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 30 days fasting and prayer. And usually started from the second of the year. And I'm like, you're already in the year. You're going to spend 20 days already of that year fasting and praying for it. And maybe you spend, for those who spend 21 days, who do 21 days fasting and prayer, then at the beginning of every month, they still do another 3 days fasting and prayer. So I'm like, but when you were fasting and praying in January, you mentioned that it was for the year. And if you divide 21 by 12, that is, it means that you spent at least 2 days praying for each particular month of the year. So why do you still get into that month that you have already fasted and prayed for, and you're fasting and praying again? So by the time you calculated the amount of time you spent fasting and praying for the different months in the year and for the year in general, and like, why did you not do the fasting and praying maybe in November, or you did it in my back home, my church back home, they actually do the fasting and prayer in December. So you do the fasting and prayer in December. I know that Agape Ministries, that's the Adejumo's ministry in Akure, they do that 12 days of glory in December, whether the first week of December or second week of December. So from December, they pray for the new year, because the idea is you need to hit the ground running. If it's new year, the new year life has started. That's what Dr. Triple A has been talking about and making us understand in this in why he spoke some seconds and minutes ago, right? So I remember the first day that I missed wash night. There was no gate. I woke up the next day and it was amazing. It was a beautiful day. Like I tell people, I said, my conscience tried judging me, but you see, scripture says God is greater than our conscience. Even if our conscience judges us, God is greater than our conscience. And why my conscience tried judging me that day was because I was in charge of preparing the overflow. So I got the projector. I went to rent the projector for the overflow. I set up the projector for the overflow. I worked with the sound to ensure that the sound for the overflow outside was intact and the rest. I ensured everything was okay. Then I went back and I slept in the hotel till the next day. So when I woke up, I was like, what kind of man are you? You prepared the table for everybody to come and eat, and you went to be sleeping. So, Ewa, I'll come to meet you, Ewa. When it comes to resolution as a young woman, and also as an individual, as a coach who gets to also work with other young people and work with people in this space, I would like to ask, what are the challenges about this New Year's resolutions? What are your thoughts about New Year's resolutions?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Sir Tiba has been breaking some tables, and definitely I came to learn, and I'm open. All right, so for me, I think that we actually do need resolutions.
Okay.
This is from someone who previous years before now, I had this mindset. It was just like hearing someone say it, and I didn't know how that became my, we call it like a thermostat for my life. He
Mhm.
said we are having a fellowship, and then he just said, I don't really like standing up when people are tithing, because I'm like, why do I need to stand up? And so in that conversation, we got to have the conversation. I remember I was probably in 100 level then, and that's like
Yeah.
maybe 4 years ago, right?
Mm.
And he said how that's why he doesn't also fancy resolutions, because when he writes them, he does not achieve them. And for someone like me who is a born writer, I love to write. I have
Mm.
always done things by writing, and suddenly I realized
Mm.
that whenever I write, I do not achieve them. So it was a war. So fight war was in my mind. And so I think that I'm going to start by saying that me overcoming that phase, looking at my results during that period, and when I had a
Mm.
new mindset, I do think that we need resolutions. So now this is why
Mhm.
we need resolution. It's with a clause. We need, like, just like
Okay.
Reverend Atiba says that resolutions are with habits, and that's absolutely true. So I think we
Mm.
need New Year resolutions, or resolutions as it were, with a new
Mm.
mindset. I do not think it is what we do that gives us results. It is at times why we do what we do. It influences
Yeah.
how, it
Yeah.
influences how long, it influences basically how the strategy,
True.
the grit, the energy you put to it. It just determines everything. So for
Mm.
me, while I was preparing, I think I had to check up what resolution means, and I think it's to make a firm decision to do something and not to do something, either of both. And you would not get to a place where you want to know that, oh, I do not want to do this thing again, or I want to start doing this, if you have not consciously reflected. So the
Yeah.
idea is every one of us at every point in time we make resolutions. It's just the fancy new year thing. So we all make resolutions at every point in time of our lives. It's just like everybody just wants to put like this tag new year because it is new, it's brand new, and we all love anything new. It's normal. Get a
Sorry,
new shoe.
I want to come in. I want to come in there. I want to
Okay,
come in
sir.
there to support you and to
Okay, sir.
also say that that is that exactly what I'm saying. We need to stop saying we want to make New Year resolutions when we are making resolutions daily.
True.
Exactly, sir.
We're
So
making
I think
resolutions daily.
exactly. I think
Mhm.
that's it for me, basically. So we all make
Every
resolutions.
single time we're meeting with
Yeah.
new challenges, we're meeting with new stuff. So,
Thank you, sir.
so all these things having to wait till the end of the year, yeah, to now say that we want to, I want to now, no, no, no,
So
that's the one that's out of the window for me.
exactly, right? So I think that so we all need resolutions. Maybe not the new year. We need new week resolution. We need new day resolutions. I mean, if you
Mm.
consciously reflect every day, I mean, there's no
Mm.
how you will not get to better your life. And it would push you, it would propel you to a point where you say, oh, I think this is not really giving me the result I want. And that's
Im-
why resolutions are important, because you have reflected, you know, you have a goal, you
True.
know what you're trying to achieve. And
True.
I have my pastor say something. We say, when you say I tried my best, he would say, compared to what? And then I'm like, I tried my best in this situation. I did my best. And he says, compared to what? And I'm like, okay. So it means that if I don't have a resolution aligning with my vision, my values, then
Mhm.
I really did not become a better person. So I
You
do
know?
think we make, sorry, sir. You can go
No,
ahead.
no, right on, please.
Yes, so I do think we need resolutions. Maybe not the new year. We can target new year. Maybe we do new day resolutions, we do new week resolutions, and then we do new year resolutions. So it gets to down in our mind that we actually need resolutions every day because we are trying to become better versions of ourselves. So to the
They,
other question that says, I don't know if I'm still to answer the challenges that come with resolution.
yes, please do. Please do.
Okay, so
Please.
I think one of the challenges that we deal with, or I deal with personally, and I deal with people, is the fact that, like Sir Atiba rightly said, is the fact that people wait and they're like, okay, January 1st, I'll keep it running. I will start at that point. And I think that's the greatest mistake we make, because time is going, time is counting. And
True.
I've always heard Minister Lisa say something. I mean, I hold that in ISM. She says something: when you can't run, ensure you walk. If you can't walk, crawl. And so resolutions at this point in time, I think one of the things we need to realize is that when you're making resolutions, it doesn't have to be, oh, I am getting the habit started immediately. Start doing something every time, because your time is counting. So you have to see that when you reflect, you are saying, okay, this is the habit I need to change. At times, it might need that you have to first consciously trace back where you picked that habit from.
Yeah.
That's you starting your resolution already. That's you starting the journey of it becoming a better person. Because people just say, oh, I want to lose weight, and you think you enter the gym, you can't sustain it now. I've tried it many times and I did sustain it until I knew why. So you, at times, people don't know that just what we desire is really like, oh, the whole thing outside, but what goes in
Mhm.
inside is the more work. Like there's this saying that says a plane would naturally burn more fuel while it is trying to take off than when it is on air flying. So habits that we want to, like you said, the resolutions are your habits, they are your mindset, they are like your program. So when you don't understand that time is counting, and every action that you deposit to your resolution helps you with that January 1st, you would not be able to make it. You will not be able to
In
make it.
fact,
And another, I think that's it for me, sir. That's basically it.
thank you so much, Coach Ewa. Thank you so much, Coach Ewa. Before I come to back to Dr. Triple A, I remember
Okay.
before you guys came up came into the studio and the rest, I was telling those who were watching, those who were already following, that um I discovered for me that it's easier for me to achieve goals and for me to celebrate my wins whenever
Mm,
I'm using my age, right?
mm,
Like I
okay.
remember things more with my age. If you ask me, in what year did you get married, I will need to think to remember the year that I particularly got married. But if you ask me when did you get married, I'll tell you at 30.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When did you finish secondary school? I'm going to most likely remember that I was 15
Yeah.
than it was in the year 2003, for example now. Right? So when did you graduate? When were you called to bar? When did you have this particular experience? I noticed that my age was usually that milestone, was usually the
Okay.
marking point and the rest. So in planning to do things for my life, if I needed to do things for my life, I usually work towards my age. So like Dr. Tiba said, when it comes to developing the habit, right now I'm 34. April next year, I'm going to be 35. So, what do I do? The things I want to achieve at 35, the moment it is January 1, I start forming the habits. I start putting in place the system. So, I have
Yeah.
about 4 months to fully prepare for April 21. So by the time it is April 21, I am already living the life. That is not when I want to start. That is not when I'm beginning to budget. That is not when I'm beginning to do this thing. I'm just doing it, right? So it flows. It just flows naturally. But you see people right now, I believe there are people out there right now who have brought out their journals and they are beginning to write, these are the things I want to achieve in the new year. Like
I'm one
the
of
new
them.
year is less than 48 hours. These are the things I want to achieve. And they get overwhelmed and they get stressed out, right? Imagine you say you want to achieve 10 things in January. Like, what? The only thing I want to achieve in January is I want to leave. I'm telling you, the only thing I want to achieve in January is I want to leave. And I tell people again
Okay.
and again that January is my best month in every year. January is usually my
Mm.
best month. It's my
Okay.
most stress-free month. That is the month where I have no stress at all. It's usually January. Why? I usually don't have any plan for January. I just leave it blank. And I tell myself, I just want to enjoy myself. I want to flow. I want to see what the energy of the year looks like. I want to see what things look like. So I start setting up things for February, right? So Dr. Triple A, for all the people you have coached over time, about 23 years, for about 23 years, you have been doing this, working with people, happy people, and the rest. What do you think have been people's challenge or the major challenges people face when it comes to planning their life, structuring their life, and strategizing for their life? Because I think the challenge is people try to make it new year. 2023. In 2023, I'm going to start gymming. Like in so, I'm going to start dressing this particular way or speaking like this. So, what do you think in your experience over these years, 23 years on the field, hands on with people? What have been the challenges? What are the things that have restructured your mind regarding New Year's resolution?
Can you hear us?
All right. Beautiful. So the major plus to people succeeding all these
Mm,
years, all of my clients. Hello, can you hear
mhm.
me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, yeah, you can okay, you can hear me. All right, beautiful. All right. So the major challenge all these years I've seen is that people, like I tell you, they tell me, Coach, you
Mm,
know what? I want to do this, Dr. Triple A, I want to do this, I want to achieve this. But when
yes.
they start, they lose steam easily. So I started to,
Yeah.
to find out, to dig under to why, to find out what will make people get to the end point. I discovered that they were not motivated.
True.
Motivation must come from deep within. So that's when I came up with the ideology, even though it wasn't originally mine, but I found it to be true that
Mm,
success starts first within, then before it shows on the outside.
Yes,
If
sir.
your
yeah.
environment has problem, your environment will have problem. So people need internal motivation for them to actually do things. Look at this. If you put an object, you put it in a place, you leave it here for 100 years, and nothing touches it, what happens?
Stays there.
It's going to remain there.
Very, very good. Mhm.
Nothing will touch it. It's just going to be there. It will gather dust and everything. But an external force comes and takes it and moves it to another place. So a lot of people have not experienced enough internal force to move themselves. So they come and they say things. I want to be, I want to do, I want to achieve, but there's no internal proportion. So when you come for coaching, what I tell people is this: are you ready to give it all it will take? Are you ready to give it all that it takes? And they tell me it's okay, coach. And I said, no problem. You know what I'm going to help you? You know what I'm going to help you with? Every time you refuse to do what you say you will do, not me, I'm not the one that said it. You said it. That you are going to do this, you're going to do this. We put a timeline to it, we put everything to it. Every time you refuse to get this done, you are going to pay me 20,000 naira. You know?
Yes, we're still with you.
Guess
we
what
can still
happens?
hear you.
People wake up. Yeah, people wake up immediately. They're like, are you serious, coach? I'm not paying 20,000 naira. Are you joking right now? 20,000 naira. For what? You know, but you see, it's a
How to
way,
give
you
it
know,
away.
in management, we call it both the cane and the carrot method. The carrot method is you
Yeah.
motivate them, right? The cane method is that you dangle, you tell them, you know what, if you mess up, we're going to do this. Guess what? It's a source of motivation. It gets people working, and they go beyond the barrier. And I'm telling you, somebody paid me at the point, paid me 60,000 because she missed 3 different assignments. But after that 60,000 that she paid, guess what happened? Her life changed. She lost that ability to give up, to give excuses. And she started doing things. So every time I told her, if you don't do this, you are paying this amount of money. Remember, it's you made that deal with yourself. It's your life we're talking about,
True.
not me. This is what you're said to do. Every time I told her that, she woke up. There was a time she was sick. You know, she was sick. I'm telling you, she literally got healed and got on her feet and started walking.
Wow.
Look, you don't want to know. You don't want to know what people have achieved in weeks, in 1 month, in 3 months, because they were motivated. All right. So, but I want to make this. I want to make this much more different, because you see, we're talking about resolutions. What I want to say is this: that we need to start making life resolutions, not even year, not weekly, not daily.
Yes.
Life resolutions.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to sit down and ask yourself, who am I? What do I want to do with my life? What do I really want to achieve when it comes to academics? What do I want to achieve when it comes to my career?
Yeah.
Those are the resolutions we should make. How much am I going to be worth at the end of my life? Who will be my friends?
Yes, like sorry to interrupt you, dear. You know, these questions that you're asking right now are the way I usually like seeing things, right? I don't like doing, people will say the short-term goals and the daily goals and the rest, and those are fine. However, I think it's usually easier for me to see it from the end than from the beginning. So I tell myself, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be at 40, right? Who will I be at 50? Who will I be at 45? So if I need to be this, and I try everything possible not to overwhelm myself with many things so that I don't lose motivation and I don't lose steam. So I tell myself that, by the time I'm going to be 40, I would have been this and that. So what it means is that I have like today that I'm 34, it means I have 6 years to go to achieve that, right? What I'm going to be doing when I'm 50, it means I have 16 years to go. So I'm able to say, oh, some people say, oh no, maybe you're giving yourself too much space to relax and rest. But like, hey, I'm no machine, right? And number one is I'm no machine. Number two, there are too many things that are outside my control. Too many things. The war in Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, I had no part in it, but it has affected my life significantly, right? Now, the global warming that is happening everywhere, I'm very sure I am not part of that global warming and the rest, but it's affecting my life significantly.
Are you
And
sure?
right,
Are you sure? Are you not using generator? Are you not using
Exactly.
generator?
how much of generator do I use? Throughout this month of
I don't
December, I've
know.
not used generator at all. Throughout the month of December, so
Wow.
yes, I can estimate my contribution
You're,
to the
you're a good
global
you're a
warming.
good global citizen.
Yes, it's not. It's just too insignificant to what I'm suffering, right? And these things. Look at. I was just talking to someone yesterday that my program, right, my program in marriage and family life counseling, I also have ended it by. I ought to be thinking of rounding up maybe third semester thereabout, but because of ASU strike, which I had no control over, right,
Oh,
I'm yet to even do my first semester. So when it
wow.
comes to this, so when people say, "Oh, you're giving yourself too much allowance," I'm saying no. I'm giving myself the allowance that will not break me, the allowance that will not make me depressed, the allowance that will not frustrate me, the allowance that says, "Oh, by so time you would have achieved so and so goal." So I'll come to Ewa, and then this is actually one of the books that has changed my life the most,
Oh
right?
my
One of the
gosh.
books that is most significant to me, right? And that is Who Moved My Cheese. I try reading it like every 3 months, right? I just try reading it like every 3 months to see how my cheese, because I was talking to someone recently and I asked the person, why am I still in Nigeria? Is it that am I still in Nigeria because I think that Nigeria is best for me, or I'm still in Nigeria because I'm afraid of the unknown,
Mm.
right? Am I still in this particular profession because I'm already so used to it and the rest? Or I'm saying, no, is it because I am enjoying it and it is paying my bills, it is doing me where it is what I want to do? Or I'm still in it because I am afraid to start all over again in
Mm.
another industry, in another discipline? So
Mm.
usually I get to want to see how my cheese is moving every day. Is my cheese moving every day? And exactly what Dr. Triple A has said, and exactly what Coach Ewa has been saying. I remember when it was in the year 2017 when my grandfather died. We were doing my grandfather's funeral thereabout, and I made a promise to myself that I was not going to take mineral again. Right, I was not going to take soda. Okay, we call it mineral. People generally call it soda, or some call it soft drink. Right, I just said during the funeral that I'm not going to take it again. And for some people, though, that have wanted to wait till the next year, January, so that it will be from January 1, right? The New Year resolution thing. But here I was in my grandfather's funeral, and I just made the decision there, and I took it off. During my sister's wedding in November, while we were at home, the wedding preparations and everything, we were all eating bread and consuming bread, and we're just talking about how much of white bread I get to consume. I eat a loaf of bread, and what is most interesting about it is that I would not use tea or beverage. I will not even use beans or jam and the rest. Just put the loaf of bread on my table and just put water. While I'm walking, I'm eating it, and before you know, in less than 1 hour, the bread is gone. And so, and I was like, I'm beginning to grow a pot belly. I'm supposed to be this cute, tall, fine, slim, dark guy, right? What, 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 what am I
Satiba.
doing with what am I doing with a pot belly at this tender age? So I just told them there that I'm not going to take white bread. I'm not. I don't say white bread. I said I'm not going to take bread again, whether it is white bread or it is wheat bread or whatsoever it is. And everybody kept on saying, "It's a lie. How do you want to do it?" And my wife told them that if he has said it, he has said it. he's not going to do it again. And those are the things we are talking about for those who are following right now, those who are watching. That your resolution does not have to be futuristic. It does not have to be in 2023. If you're making the decisions right now, make the decisions right now, stick to it and start living that life right now. Start making that decision right now. Don't go and pile up your next year with so many things that will be difficult for you. So let me see, Coach Ewa, what is 2023 going to look like for you? Are you having, did you by chance create any new thing that you want to do? Or
sorry. I want to raise my hands and I'm popping here before Ewa talks.
Okay.
Oh my God, did you just lose? What happened? Okay.
She will come back.
Let me quickly say this. Okay, all right. Let me quickly say this that we should ask ourselves, some of the things that we're trying to change in our lives, how bad do we want it? How bad do we want it? How bad do we want it? We're going to stop start using management, consultancy terms. We use things like, what we call the start, the stop, the reduce and increase strategy. In other words, what are the things I want to start in my life? What are the things I want to stop in my life? If I start these things, they're going to help me get better in life. They help me achieve my goals. What are the things I'm going to stop that they've been sabotaging me? Because the greatest problem, our greatest enemy, greatest threat does not come from outside. It comes from within. True. We are the reason why we are not achieving a lot of success in our lives, because we are full of excuses. We are undisciplined, and so we keep on doing things that are not proper. What are the things I want to reduce? Am I going to reduce? What do I want to reduce in my life? This thing has been working against me. I want to reduce it totally. I just need to reduce it. I don't need to stop it, but I need to reduce it. And what are the things I need to increase? So some people call it the stair strategy, or stair strategy, whatever you call it. What am I increasing? What am I reducing? And all those kind of things. But more than anything, I have seen this, and I'm saying to you, in all my years of coaching, that if people don't feel a personal connection to that thing you want to achieve, you don't feel like if I get this thing right now. The first thing that put me on that journey was Tibari's story. That guy really made a lot of impression on me.
Definitely.
He said way back then, he said he was out of job, his wife was out of job. He said they had 20,000 naira. He was supposed to pay rent, his wife was pregnant, the baby was on the way. And he was spending 2,000 naira every day.
Wow.
So obviously, that in 10 days, that money is done.
True.
So he said that was enough for him to sit down and look at the life and say to himself, you know what, guy, you need to change the course of things. So he set a goal, an impossible goal of about 70 million or so, thereabout. He said, I'm going to get that. And he said I did. He didn't hit that 70, but obviously he moved into about 17 million or more.
Wow.
Like somebody said, if you set for the sun, if you don't eat the sun, you will eat the moon.
Yes.
But there were environment, there were things around him that made him say to himself, this is a must-have. It's not a like to do. I want to become rich. No. It's different from If I don't make this money, the landlord will kick me out.
Sorry for cutting you. Sorry to cut you. There's this thing that people don't even do, and that is, we have about 5 minutes to go. Okay, there are things that some people don't do. Is the fact that some people don't even know how to do carryover when it comes to their resolutions or when it comes to their goals. Like 2023 is in 48 hours time, and people just want to start something fresh, and they just want to start something new. They are not even talking about continuity.
That's the reason why. You see, I wanted to say this is where I was going. I'm sorry we don't have the time, but let me quickly round up here and say that that's why we should come up with life plans, lifetime goals, instead of just
Yearly
year
goals.
goals or weekly goals and all that.
Yeah.
If my lifetime goal is to be worth $100 million, guess what?
Yeah.
Whether if I eat $1 million this year, it's still part of my $100 million goal.
True. True.
So this year, I mean, I'm just starting out. And
Mm.
what happened is because you know what, you're making a foundation, you're building a foundation. If you're
Yeah.
building a foundation, it takes time. When the
True.
Burj Arab Hotel was being built, they had to dig down, 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 create artificial foundations before they could go up. If you
Yeah.
don't go down, you can't come up. So
Yeah.
the first few years, obviously, you're going. So if you are the kind of person who compare yourself with others, you're going to lose it because you are busy building your foundation.
Or
Who knows? It might
you
be
photocopy their New Year resolution. Some people are going on
exactly.
Google
It
right
might
now
be
to go and ask what are the New Year resolutions
honestly
I
to
should
go
make
and
next year.
copy exactly. So it might be the sixth year that you're going to shoot up. Who knows? And then you make your $50 million.
Mm.
It might not even up to. And you know what? And you said that your lifetime goal is that in 30 years' time you want to be worth $100 million. But who knows?
Yeah.
Because you kept at it, you kept going on, and that same power of carryover, you kept on because you know that this is a lifetime thing. This is for me. It's
True.
you. It's your life. You're
True.
not moved by others. As you keep on, you build momentum. And who knows?
True.
Your sixth
True.
year, you might just move to 50 million and you're almost there. So
So
we
for
should
anything
start
I
thinking
did
from
not
a
complete now,
perspective
I'm
of
moving it.
lifetime. Honestly, that's
That's
it.
that's
Keep
what I'm saying.
working on it.
For
Don't lose
anything that I've
steam.
not yet completed this year, I'm not dumping it. I'm not abandoning it. I'm
Yeah,
not leaving it. It is a
yeah,
consistent life. It is continuous.
yeah,
It is continuous. It
yeah,
is progressive. It is not a
yeah.
oh, this year has come to an end. I could not achieve it, so I'm dumping it. No, in fact, until I complete everything that I've already decided to do, there's no need for me to set something new. That's my idea. If there are things right now in my life that I'm already saying I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to achieve this, like for example the way ASO affected many people, for example the way the Russia Ukraine war affected people, the way different things affected people. Now if these things are so, then there is no, I don't have to, like, how will I say now, I don't have to now say, oh, I am ending everything and doing everything. Dr. Triple A had to leave. It's like she's trying to join back again or something, but that's fine. So, Ewa, let's come to you, Coach Ewa, as we are wrapping up because we have about 2 minutes to go. Generally, you work with people a lot, and over the years, you have been working with that was over 5 years now, thereabout, because I knew that you
Yeah.
started working with people from um, quite an early
16.
age as a teenager, and the rest at 16, and all of that. Very, very interesting. That was one of the things that attracted us to you in the alright fashion and everything. So, what we'll do now? So, I'm going to ask you, what is your final counsel to people who are watching right now? What is that? What's that final thing that you want to advise them?
Okay, thank you, sir. I mean, awesome conversation all from the beginning, and I think Dr. Aktiba did not break tables. Actually, he actually helped restructure the tables, and I'm just going to say that if you follow what Dr. Aktiba said, and you work with life plan, I mean, it would relieve you of so much pressure on yourself. Today
Mhm.
we are having a review for my brand, and myself and my personal assistant were talking, and she was like, we've just been giving ourselves pressure. I mean, this is less than 1 year that we've started, and you're expecting to achieve at the rate at which other people are achieving. And so when we make resolutions, oftentimes, like you rightly said, we make it against other people, we make it against what I think the society is saying rather than who
Mm.
I want to be. You have to
Yeah.
be honest. Some of us are not, as it were, not advantaged. We don't have resources at equal level. So if you want to make a resolution, it has to be realistic. That's why it has to be alongside what you're making. And by the way, that you don't have resources does not mean you can't get whatever it is you want to get. Like Dr. Atiba said, imagine, look at that story, and he made that amount of money. So it is about
Yeah.
your discipline, about a personal conviction to whatever it is you want. I remember in 100 level, after I finished with a 2-1, and I was like, I want a first class. And
Yeah.
to everybody it sounded like, I mean, people literally told me that it's not possible because she started already in 100 level and that's it. And in 200 level, pam, 300 level, the same thing. And people were shocked. And I said, when you want something, nothing
Yeah.
should stop you,
Yeah.
right? So that just are just few things. So I think have a personal connection to whatever goal it is that you want. Why do I want this thing? What would it do for me? Would it help me? I remember one of the reasons why I told myself I wanted a good grade was because, I mean, if I want to sit in rooms with men, it has to be proven that throughout every phase in my life I have been able to provide quality results, tangible
Yeah.
result that people can say, okay, this lady, I think she can do this thing well. Even though I might not have that skill at that point, I can tell you I will learn it. Just put me on the job. And
Yeah.
it means that I need track record. So in my academics, what is the track record there? In my relationship, what's the track record? Can people look at me and say, oh, I think this person is doing this thing well. I think this person
Yeah.
is doing this thing well. So from the onset, whatever it is you are trying to achieve, you're not in competition with anybody. You're in competition with yourself. When you understand that first, it allows you plan with yourself. It allows you know that, okay, Ewa, I didn't used to be so intelligent before, and I mean, it was something I told myself, if I
Yeah.
can see people do it, nothing is
I can
stopping me.
remember.
So it helps you tap into your own inner strength. I mean, there is so much strength you can't imagine that you have. I remember it was when we had our teenagers meeting, and then we watched Aquila and the Bee, and that particular phrase has stayed with me. It is my light, not my darkness, that threatens me. Who am I to say? Who am I to ask? Why am I not intelligent? Who exactly am I not to be? And those phrases, whenever I get to a block road, I just tell myself, it is your light that frightens you, not your darkness. Ewa, you can do this. And many, many times I do those things I want. So when you have a personal connection with yourself, your
Yeah.
mind helps you release the energy that you need to get what you want to get. That's the honest truth. And most importantly, you're not in competition with anybody. And like you rightly said, have carryovers. It's fine to have carryovers. That's what life is about. I mean, it's fine to have carryovers. It's fine to know that I didn't get this done here. Why did I not get it done? And that's where we make resolutions. You reflect. You're intentional. And I remember that. Should I say that? Whenever I want to reflect, I always try to run away from, because it allows the truth come in my face. Because at that point, I'm telling
Of
myself,
course.
woman, if you want to move ahead, you have to be honest with yourself. But you cannot lie. Don't say you are trying to pet yourself. Ewa, you don't have good qualities in this place and you need to do well. So you have to kill the excuse. So at that point, when you know that carryovers are fine, it helps you know that I didn't do well here. I'm not going to beat myself up. Ewa, what can you do at this point? What is the goal? What do you have in front? What is the next target? And regardless, keep moving. Anything happens, tell yourself, I am going
In
to move.
fact, thank you so much for that. Such an amazing cancer. You know, it is even carryover because you can the reason why you call it carryover is because you have set the boundaries of your life by January to December calendar.
Exactly, sir.
If you remove the January to December calendar, it is not a carryover, it is a progressive system. Oh, I am yet to
Exactly.
achieve this thing. Although I'm yet to achieve this thing, on my journey, I have achieved other things. In fact, there are things that I did not plan to achieve now that I have
Yes,
achieved. There are things that
exactly.
I plan to achieve now that I have not yet achieved. It's a journey. So I am
Truly.
progressive and I am doing it. In fact, before I come to Dr. Triple A to give us his final counsel on tonight before we end tonight, the counselors. For those who are watching right now, if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. Share this with your friends so I get to learn the same things that you are learning. Birds of a feather flock together, right? And hit the
Yeah.
notification bell so I get to know when we have these live shows, and we also post other videos. Interestingly, we post shorts every day, so you get to learn amazing things every day on this particular YouTube channel. Dr. Triple A, before I come to you for your final counsel for tonight, I remember people will usually ask me, all right, who will you be at age 30? Sorry, at age 30. That was before I was 30.
Oh,
At
I'm
age
sorry, sir.
40.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I actually
Sorry,
I have to leave the call now. My phone is hot, very hot, and then I'm
no
on
problem.
1%. Thank you so much for hosting me. I'm super grateful. Thank you so much,
No
Sayora. Thank you, San.
wahala. You're
Dr. Tiffany.
welcome. You're welcome, Jerry.
All right, bye,
See
You're
you.
sir.
welcome.
See you. Bye bye. Yeah.
So, like I was saying before, when people ask me who will you be at 30, what will you be at 40, who will you be at 50, I usually have one answer: I'll be a human being, and that human being will be all right. Like, nobody should try to say you are stressing me. Interestingly, I remember when I was in SS2, and one of my teachers said I was a no future ambition person because he felt I was too careless with the way I handle things and with the way I do things. And I wanted to be a lawyer. Strange. Like, you that is not serious. You usually don't look and appear serious, someone who is serious with life and the rest. But here I am, I'm a lawyer. All right. In fact, I became the first person who was a lawyer from my class, from all those who ever wanted to become a lawyer. Right? I was the first person to become a lawyer. I said that I was going to be a counselor, I was going to own a showbiz, I was going to do this and that. And right now I'm living in that reality. Although based on their own timing and based on their speed, they expected that, oh, guy, you have to be this, you have to be doing this now, it has to be
Yeah.
working like this. And for me, I'm looking at the end goal, I'm looking at it that, don't worry, no matter what is happening, when I'm 40, I'm going to have achieved the goal because I'm on a journey. It is progress I am calculating, and not just whether I've achieved a goal. No. So, Dr. Triple A, what will be your final words for us? What will be your counsel?
Yeah, like I said, it's all about your life. It's your life we're talking about here, not
Mm-hmm,
just some resolutions, not just some flimsy stuff. So number
mm-hmm,
one, let me say to you that your life is like a building. It's like building a
yeah,
skyscraper. The higher you go, the more visible you become, the more outstanding you become. The vision that you have for your life is what matters. If you're going to be a
mm-hmm,
25-story building, that's okay. You want to be 45, you want to be 101 like the US State building, that's something. But don't forget, the higher you want to go, the deeper you have to first go before you go up. It's also like that of the Chinese bamboo that actually is in the ground for a couple of months.
mm-hmm.
Then in a couple of weeks, it shoots up to be more than 75 meters high.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand this. If you understand that the life vision that you have to understand your life plan. It will not bother you when you're not visible and nobody is celebrating you because you
true,
are working in the background.
true.
You are building yourself in the background. There's a time for building before
Yeah,
you are visible. Have you ever
yeah,
noticed that most of the extraordinary buildings you see were first of all screened? They were covered.
yes.
In Nigeria, you know what happens? They use corrugated iron sheets to cover all those spaces up. All of a
The
sudden,
one
they
we call
open it when
zinc.
the building is ready. Zinc, thank you. And you open it, all of a sudden, you've been passing by, you never saw anything. And then one day they open it all up, and you're wondering, where did this come out from? When did this happen? Why? Because somebody was building behind the scenes. There's nothing like overnight success, only
Yeah,
continuous process.
true.
So people have been building in the background. That's what I want you to do. Decide today you want to have a life plan. What is the vision of the future? What's the picture of the future you want to feature in? Write it
Mm.
down. Create your plan. Write down the vision. Make it plain so that them that see it will run with it. Right? Let us do that. Write it down and then begin to work on it. And I promise you, it's a matter of time. You're going to get there.
Mm.
And people will come and say, well, wow, when did you do this? How did this happen? No, there are things you see today that are products of 20 years of work.
True.
There are things you see today that they were products of 30 years of hard labor.
Yeah.
Nothing just happens. So
Mhm.
please, instead of you jumping from one year to the other and frustrating yourself, why don't you sit down and create your life plan and begin to navigate your life forth? Thank you very much. Love you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Triple A, for that. For those of you who are watching, if you are yet to subscribe, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when we post amazing videos and when also we are coming live. And share this with your friends so that they get to know. Today we have had Coach Ewa and we also had Dr. Triple A sharing with us today on why you may not need a New Year's resolution. And this is what I have to say before I let you go tonight. That see, find out from your past. What are those things that you were doing before that you've not yet completed? Pick them up. Maybe it's time to complete them. Maybe right now you don't need something new. You don't need something new. You don't have to go online and start looking over the shoulders of your friends to know what is their plan for the coming year, to start doing copying and paste, right? You don't have to start asking yourself, oh, what are the things I want to do now? What are the things I don't want to do now? Just go back and see what are those things I've always wanted to do that I have not completed, right? That I abandoned or that I just push somewhere and start and resume, continue doing them. Don't put yourself under so much pressure trying to do something new in the new year. Hey, see, God does not count your life based on January 1 and December 31. That's not how it works. That's not why how it works, even for God, because He does not have the sun and He does not have the moon. The sun and the moon is for those of us who are in this part of the universe, right? So we calculate day and night, weeks and the rest by the sun, because we have the sun. But those who don't have the sun don't have anything to calculate by. So God is seeing your life and He's seeing it as something that is progressing, and He wants to see that progress. That's how you should do it. For someone like me, I like using my age rather than using the year. So focus on your life and just try to see how you can achieve the goals. Please, January has only 4 weeks. Don't try to achieve 5 things in January. That is trying to create an extra week. Don't try to achieve 10 things in January. Don't try to achieve 20 things in February. It may not be so realistic. You're putting so much pressure on yourself. Yes, you may achieve these things, but by the time you are 50 years old, would you have burnt out? Would you have been stressed out? We have seen people who achieved all their life goals at 35. They achieved all their life goals at 30 and they became depressed. Right? Dio Samuel, one of our counselors, has hosted people like that on his podcast, and they had to sell off their companies. They had to change their country because there was nothing to aim for again. They had made themselves machines and they had made themselves robots trying to achieve one goal. If there's anything I want to tell you today and I want to leave you with today, is that be a human being, live life. Just be a human being and live life. Calculate your progress, celebrate your progress, and remember that major question we asked at the beginning. And the question again I want to ask you is, why wait till January 1 when you can start living that life today? Why wait till January 1 when you can make that decision today and start living by it today? Thank you so much, Digital Ministry, for joining. Thank you, Kamaka Eze. Thank you for Mayowa. Thank you, everyone that joined us. Those who, now I can let's see this from those who commented. For those who did not comment, I will not be able to mention your names. Thank you. I hope you have subscribed, you have hit the notification bell. Interestingly, last time Dr. Triple A was with us, right? And that was during the last counselors when we were talking about whether it's anything wrong if your wife earned more money than you. Dr. Triple A was also one of our discussants. I wouldn't know if you will also be one of our discussants in the next the counselors, right? However, these are some of the things you should expect from the All Right Passion 2023. Interestingly, there's none of them that is new. We are going to be bringing back Patricia. We are going to be bringing back Vanessa. These are programs that help people to remain celibate, for those who are celibate to remain celibate, for those who have been sexually active that want to become celibate to become celibate. We are going to be bringing the Sex Addicts Anonymous, which is our sexual healing program. So we are going to be bringing back the same things we have always been doing, and we are just going to see how we are going to continue it. And interestingly, if you follow us, tomorrow you know what our theme for 2023 will be. And if you have been following us for the last 3 years, you discover that our team has just been flowing. It has been flowing. It has been going towards one particular target. Like this year, we focused on friendship, friends and friendship, right? So next year is a continuation of that. We are not doing anything new. It is life. we are just continuing. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Dr. Triple A, once again. Thank you, Coach Ewa. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed night and have an amazing new year. From me, yours sincerely, you rock. Bye.